Hi guys, I'm Shmi. We're at the 2016 Geneva Motorshow where we're on the Ferrari stand taking a look in particular at their new car for this year's show. This is the GTC4Lusso. It's an evolution of the FF. So I'm going to show you around the whole stand and take a look in particular at the two GTC4Lussos we have here, the grey special order car and also this white car with the blue interior on the other side. So it's a car obviously of a lot of significance to me because it is an update to the FF, a car I am very much enjoying of my own. So maybe down the line I'll even make an upgrade from my FF to the GTC4. So this car's story starts here with the engine. It has an updated version of the 6.3 litre V12 now with 690 horsepower, and it's obviously going to sound very good. A point that was being highlighted to me is that the manifolds for all of the cylinders are actually exactly the same length, which allows them to fine-tune the sound. So I'm looking forward to hearing how this naturally aspirated V12 is going to sound in this car, possibly one of the very last Ferrari NA V12, so it's going to be very special. Now, one of the other things that's different about this is that we've got rear wheel steer. So the rear wheels will turn as you are driving, and it's a particularly clever system, of course, introduced on the TDF but now found on the GTC4, where the wheels will turn in different directions. So as you enter a turn, they will turn to reduce understeer, and then when you exit the turn, they will turn to create a little bit more oversteer, which means the car is significantly more responsive, more direct, and more nimble to drive. You see, it's a car itself that's about 4.70 meters in length, but it won't feel like it. I can tell you from driving even just the FF, it feels like a very, very sporty car for one that can seat 4 people in such comfort. So taking a look around the exterior, so we'll start with this car in particular. It retains the hatchback, but now with a slightly more sloped rear sort of angle.
I had to do it once. I am so sorry, guys. I just had to do it once. Just once. Just
this guy gets in the... You.
Just once.
No words.
Just once. Just once.
Okay, I'll let him off. Solomon Drin, we had a nice chat in his Huayra while I was in LA.
Put the head on him.
Oh, this is so sweaty though.
No, let's not.
There you go.
I'm going back to the car.
All right.
So, see you later, guys.
So, the GTC4Lusso, where were we? Looks, design, visual, a little bit more slanted roof towards the rear. Luggage space retains very similar to before. I'll show you that in a second. Obviously down below we're a little bit sort of redesigned. We've got quad lights now, 2 on each side instead of the singles from before, but the exhausts maintain the quad exhaust tips again down to the bottom corners either side of the diffuser. With a sort of central kind of look that's very motor racing style. As we come round, we've got these new vents just behind the front arches, which are actually ducts to pull out air from the heat and sort of pressure that gets built up in there to get that heat out of the way as quickly as possible. And then as we come around the front, you can see sort of some design that's inspired almost F12 Berlinetta style, with the new sort of style grille, and the camera I can see has moved up slightly. It used to sort of rest inside the grille, and now it's in that slightly higher position. So from the outside, certainly a good looker. Let's come over and just take a quick look at the white car, which is on the 5 twin spoke wheels, which would probably be my choice. It's obviously glowing very bright here under the bright lights of the Geneva Motorshow. The boot of this car is open.
Simplistic.
Trunk for the American followers out there, where you can see it maintains much of the same appearance as the FF, so it is the practical 4-wheel drive Ferrari supercar. Let me see if I can jump inside. Interior of the GTC4Lusso. Now in here, a lot has changed. Let me show you all around. Let's pull the door towards us. We've got a new grab handle here. And close that. The steering wheel is the first thing. There's a much smaller airbag in the center, and it's all been redesigned. So the indicators, you can see we've got these new metal feel indicators that you can reach from the back or from the front. Before it was just a button on the front. Still have the lights and the wipers here, but we've got a control for the automatic functions, and they're also much larger physically, so easier to press. We've still got the engine start, the bumpy road button, and the Manatino, although it is also a new design for the Manatino here, but still the same settings: ice, wet, comfort, sport, and everything off. And we also have the phone and voice recognition commands buttons down there, and the usual controls on the back for media controls. So up above that we have the central rev counter as usual, the double displays, one on either side for different functionality, but those displays lead us on to this, the new central screen, which is a 10.25 inch touchscreen device. It's running a demonstration mode at the moment just to show us a lot of the different functionality, and there is of course a lot of functionality going on in here. You can see the climate controls, which are obviously done through this panel underneath, seats, all of this, media. We'll get to the maps in a second. Just while that's going on, we've got the sort of driver-focused commands, launch, auto, reverse, over towards the driver side now, where before it was much more in the centre. New storage compartment in here. Lots of storage in here actually. So we've also got the armrest box too, with a cigarette socket, Apple CarPlay and USB in there. When the display fires back up, we'll see a little bit more of it, but you've also got this new display over on the passenger side. Now, Ferraris before, you could have a small sort of basic display that just showed you rev counter and some sort of speed information and basic stuff. Now you have a whole new sort of passenger interface, so the passenger can do music, phone, navigation destinations, everything from their own controllable touchscreen. So you can see the VDA information there. Information about the dynamics of the car, and it's a sort of colour screen. That is very, very nice. I like that screen a lot. And here you have the open button for the glove box. And there we go, we've got the new map, which is a much higher resolution, better looking display, so that's very, very smart. What else can I tell you about the interior? We've got the buttons for the lift system, parking, the camera system, still have the camera front and rear. The air vents slightly updated and a little bit quieter. I'm told they're sort of 20-25% quieter. Memory commands for the seats are now on the door, and there's this new sort of latch for opening it. The rear is much the same. There's a little bit more headroom underneath the panoramic roof, which is now an option. It was originally an option on the FF, but it was made standard in the later models. But also that rear window is slightly elongated backwards, so you feel a little bit less claustrophobic in the rear, especially with the panoramic roof, where of course there's a lot of light coming into the car. So up front, I have to say this is very, very nice. It's definitely an evolution, and a very nice place to be looking around. So let's jump back out. I'm going to head around to the boot. This is one other thing. The FF before didn't have a button to open the boot, but we do now have a button under here to automatically open up the boot, so that works nicely. And also, this is a new thing that Ferrari have just introduced. The personalised specifications plaque for all of their models can now be found in the car, so it tells you how it was delivered from the factory, the serial number and the full specification of the car. So you can see this car is a fairly highly equipped car, but that's quite interesting. So if you're ever buying a used car, you can get all the details of it from there. So that is the GTC4Lusso. I think it's very definitely a promising looking update, so I look forward to taking one for a drive, and who knows what else in the future. They do look good. So while we're here, we also have the California T here, which now has a new handling speciale package. So an update, slightly sportier package option you can add to the California T for an even more sort of enhanced sporty drive. So no doubt that will make it even better than the California T that I've actually driven down here to Geneva. We've been doing a little road trip. And then we've got the 488 GTB down here as well. So I'm now going to pop into the back room and show you some of the customization options available. Let's take a look around the Atelier, and there are a couple of things in here to show you. Now, I've been learning a little bit about this process and how it works with the Ferrari Atelier, and there are three different sort of departments. The first is the Scuderia, which is sort of inspiration from perhaps cars that are existing from the racing department. So it's sort of use of materials like carbon fiber, Alcantara, Kevlar, all the different sort of things. And there's this sort of huge array of different drawers with options and different things to have a look at, and well, inspiration basically. As you can see here, 2016 California T taking inspiration from the 2016 Formula 1 car. The next is Inedita, which is more sort of taking materials not typically found in the cars and bringing them in. So that could be like we have over here with the 488 Spider. That could be inspiration from yachts, different woods, different materials, different types of sort of things. And then the third area is Classica, which is inspiration from the historical cars. So this is going to lead us onto the car that's behind me, because you can see up here there is an old 250 in silver with red stripes. If you can just see that behind the glow of the light up there. And now all these materials, like the heritage red leather you can see here, and the paintwork, the bespoke paintwork, are used on the car that we're about to take a look at. So I'll just wait for this photo shoot to finish, and then we'll take a look at this car. As a base, this is a California T with the handling speciale package that I mentioned before has just been introduced. But this is where it gets very interesting. Of course, this is the top end of sort of bespoke design. Looking at the way this leather works in the car, obviously the paint itself is bespoke, and Ferrari invite around 100 customers a year to sort of have the opportunity to create a car of this kind of nature, this sort of level of unique finish. So if we open up the boot as well here, again, this has the full list of the tailor-made special options in the rear, and you can see there's a lot there in a lot of detail. So it will remain forever with the car, the configuration that was done to it through the Ferrari tailor-made program in the Atelier. So that has been quite interesting to see as a sort of example of something really, really, truly special, and what you can do and what you can create with Ferrari. So we've had a look around, we've seen the GTC4Lusso, of course there was an F12 as well, I don't think I mentioned, but in addition to that we have the California T handling speciale package that's just come out, the 488 GTB, and seeing this rather special California T in here too. So that was the Ferrari stand at the 2016 Geneva Motorshow and the launch of GTC4Lusso. Thank you very much for watching, make sure you're subscribed, and I will catch up with you again very soon. Cheers! Okay, so here we go, P1 time. Got the lift system up already, that's going to make it easy to get. If Porsche offered me a GT3 RS, I would not take a second to think about buying one.